Representing the cohort of the Specialist Diploma in Learning Support for Specific Learning Differences is Mr. Darrell Tan. Mr. Darrell Tan is a mainstream English educator who is a learner at heart. He started his journey as a beginning teacher 7 years ago with a firm belief that education is the vehicle for social mobility. As a learner on a never-ending journey to expand his repertoire in teaching, he has constantly sought out ways to engage his students. His experiences with students with SEN, particularly dyslexia, further reinforce the need to look for more pedagogical tools so that he can empower his students in unpacking the gift of literacy. And he hopes to be able to do so with his newfound knowledge and tools from DAS Academy. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Darrell Tan to deliver his valedictorian speech. Mr. Tan, please.
Good morning, faculty members of the DAS Academy, honored guests, and fellow graduates. My name is Darrell Tan, and I am honored and humbled to be given the opportunity to address you on behalf of the graduates of the Specialist Diploma in Learning Support for Specific Learning Differences, also known as SpLD. I would like to thank all of you here for being present with us today on this very special occasion. To my fellow graduates, congratulations. You showed up, persevered, and made it. To the lecturers who have been ever so patient and detailed in your teaching, especially to my practicum supervisor, Ms. Rebecca Shalina, thank you for making this happen. Your dedication to the empowerment of young lives have undoubtedly helped to motivate, inspire, and provide us with the insights to complete this journey in our lives. And to my wife, thank you for putting up with me during this period in our lives. To start off, I would like everyone present here to remember this quote: "Leave no child behind." That was the driving force that propelled me to continually upgrade my teaching skills in English. Now, don't get me wrong. As a teacher, we have been well trained in the National Institute of Education, also known as NIE, in terms of pedagogical knowledge and classroom management. But what people don't know is that in our short 4 years at NIE, the massive amounts of information that we could download into our minds were catered and targeted mainly to the majority, the middle progressive learners. Many of you out here today might possibly be like me. You look at your child, you look at your students, and you see the looks of confusion day after day. As any concerned parent or teacher, the question that continuously haunts you in your waking and sleeping hours is, how can learning be made easier? How can we help to unpack literacy and yet not undermine the quality of learning for students? If education is the vehicle for social mobility, then surely literacy has to be the engine that propels the vessel. How can we help our learners to learn? That was what inspired me to deepen my knowledge in supporting students with literacy difficulties. In my search for answers, I found a beacon of light at DAS Academy, also known as DAC. But unfortunately, COVID-19 was plaguing the land, and I had my doubts and worries on how the lessons at DAC could retain its quality online. Needless to say, these doubts and worries were quickly dispelled. Despite the pandemic, the staff at DAC made it possible for learning to take place. Even though we were in a virtual learning space, the interaction during classes dissolved the physical distance between us. Countless breakout room sessions also made discussions possible. And of course, technology also made it possible for us to learn in the comforts of our own home and pajamas. For that, I am extremely grateful. Please allow me to walk you through the memory lane to provide a short glimpse of what I had experienced at DAC. Now, I vividly remember my first lesson at DAC, where we were shown a passage that read, "F kick bomb bro if let's go." Let's take a moment to digest this. No, I'm not trying to cast a spell on you, and that is not a foreign language. That was purely English presented in a way that students with dyslexia would be facing day in and day out. That first lesson etched a lasting reminder in my heart as an educator on why I am doing this. This was the daily struggle that our students experienced, but now we have the opportunity to make a difference. Through DAC, we were exposed to various ways of teaching literacy skills to our students using a multi-sensory approach, also known as the Orton-Gillingham approach. To be quite honest, prior to this experience, I had always thought that sand, yes, sand, was only used in building sand castles. Who would have thought that it could also be useful in multi-sensory teaching as well? I had signed up to receive an education at DAC and received much more in return. Through DAC, my confidence as an educator has been boosted and my range of teaching skills expanded, providing me with much more flexibility in crafting my lessons. Before I end off my speech, I would like to congratulate my fellow graduates once again for committing yourselves to the cause of our young learners. While I would like to assure you that the road ahead would be smooth going, it would often not be. The onus is now on us to continue experimenting on our newfound pedagogical tools and knowledge to see what fits our learners. In times like this, I would like to urge you to keep going. We are in the unique position to make a difference so that no child gets left behind. Be it your own child or a class of students, we can make a difference to our learners. Thank you.